TFIU by pretending to be my own twin brother for 2 months. I don't even have a brother.
Okay, so let's unpack this one. Imagine this. What if, like, a moment of pure social anxiety made you invent a twin brother?
Oh, wow.
And then you actually lived as him for 2 whole months.
Seriously, that sounds intense.
It is. We're diving into this amazing story from Reddit, TIFU. The title is just perfect. TIFU by pretending to be my own twin brother for 2 months. I don't even have a brother.
Right. And look, this isn't just, a funny story you tell at parties. It's actually a really fascinating look at how a small fib...
A really small fib.
Exactly. Can just completely spiral out of control. It tells us so much about identity, perception, and frankly, the mental cost of keeping up a fake persona.
Totally. So our mission today is basically to walk you through this whole crazy journey. It starts with accidentally creating Kevin. That's the twin in a dive car.
Kevin, okay.
Then Kevin gets surprisingly popular. He gets these made-up backstories, like apparently he hitchhiked across Canada.
Oh, nice touch. Very adventurous.
Right. And then the logistics, the absolute nightmare of juggling 2 lives.
Yeah.
And the ending, oh man, the ending involves Brian's mom and barbecue ribs.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Barbecue ribs. Okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah, I'll see where it gets really interesting and what it all might mean.
Let's do it.
So, okay, picture it. Our guy, he's like 32, IT guy, Ohio, pretty normal dude. Mm-hmm. He's at this dive bar, you know the kind. Smells like fryer oil. Just wants a quiet drink.
Yeah.
Then this guy from high school, Brian, comes up and says, Mark. Hey. But our guy isn't Mark.
Okay. Mistaken identity.
Exactly. But instead of just saying wrong guy, his social anxiety just flares up and he just goes with it. He pretends to be Mark.
Wow. Okay, so that's the first step down the rabbit hole. It's almost like a weird fight or flight thing, but instead of running, he just fakes it.
Totally. And then Brian mentions Mark having a twin. And our guy on the spot names him Kevin.
Just like that. Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. It's kind of amazing how fast we can build a whole new reality just to dodge like 5 seconds of awkwardness.
It really is. And the commitment right then and there.
And it didn't stop there.
Yeah.
Like a week later, he's at the grocery store. He's in sweats, hoodie, looking very Kevin, apparently.
Uh-huh. The Kevin look.
And Brian spots him, shouts, Kevin, what's up? And our guy doesn't miss a beat, just replies, oh, Mark's working today. Steps right into the role.
See, that's what's so compelling. That little lie, it starts getting reinforced by other people. Brian tells people about Kevin.
Right.
And suddenly, our Reddit user is running into old classmates who are all like, oh, you must be Kevin, Mark's twin. And the more they believe it,
the more real Kevin becomes.
Exactly. External validation just fuels the whole thing.
But here's the twist.
Mm-hmm.
People liked Kevin. Like, really liked him.
Oh, really? More than Mark?
Yeah. Kevin was funnier. Apparently more relaxed. Kevin didn't have to talk about fixing computers.
The perks of being fictional.
Totally. He could make stuff up to hitchhiking, playing bass guitar. So Kevin starts getting invited places. Bonfires, trivia nights, even a bowling league. And our guy goes as Kevin because it's like this social invisibility cloak. Nobody expected Kevin to, have his act together.
That's fascinating. But it's also a trap, isn't it? The more popular Kevin gets,
the harder it is to go back to being the original guy.
Yeah. It really shows how much we rely on how others see us. Kevin's effortless fake charm was maybe easier for people than the real person's, everyday stuff.
Oh, definitely. And then his neighbor, Jess, the one he had a crush on, she meets Kevin, and she likes Kevin, tells him, you're way more relaxed than your brother.
Okay, now it's complicated.
Super complicated. Suddenly, he's managing 2 calendars, trying to remember which story Kevin told to who, changing his hair, his clothes. He said it was just utterly exhausting.
I bet. That constant performance, the mental energy it takes, it's not just about remembering lies, it's about never really being, you. The cognitive load must have been huge.
To the breaking point. It wasn't some big dramatic confrontation, not at first. It was Brian's birthday barbecue.
The barbecue.
Yeah. Our guy's there is Kevin eating ribs. Brian's cousin asks, hey, where's Mark?
Yeah.
Kevin says, oh, he's out of town. Simple enough, right?
Seems safe.
But then Brian's MOM pipes up, completely innocently. That's funny. I just saw Mark this morning at the farmer's market.
Oh, no, the mom.
The whole table just goes silent. You could hear a rib drop.
Wow, and that's how fragile it is. One casual comment and months of work just poof.
Exactly. It all unraveled after that. Jess confronted him a few days later. Brian must have told her he finally had to admit it.
Yeah.
Not technically a twin.
Yikes. So this whole Mark and Kevin saga, it really shows that, yeah, maybe inventing someone else feels freeing for a second.
Right, like an escape.
But the knowledge you gain is that keeping it up has this enormous hidden cost. Just think about the sheer mental energy, the exhaustion, managing calendars, hoodies.
Yeah, the hoodies, all to keep this other identity afloat.
It's immense.
So what's the big takeaway here? I mean, it seems pretty clear, right? The easy way out, just going along with the mistake, It wasn't easier at all in the long run.
Not even close.
Like our Reddit guy learned. If someone gets your name wrong, just correct them. Seriously. Don't invent a twin.
Please don't.
Don't call him Kevin.
Yeah.
And definitely don't keep it going for 2 months unless you want to be a case study in why lying is just plain exhausting.
Which raises maybe one last question for you listening. In what ways do we all, maybe without even realizing it, kind of create slightly different versions of ourselves for different situations?
Like little alter egos?
Yeah, maybe smaller ones than Kevin. But what's the hidden cost of even those little deceptions on who we really are and on our actual relationships, like with the neighbor like Jess? Something to think about.
I pretended to be gay so my boss would stop hitting on me, and it worked way too well.
All right, let's dive into something pretty wild today. Imagine you're doing great at your job. Good pay, solid benefits, the works.
Right.
But your direct supervisor, she's hitting on you relentlessly. And the normal route, like HR, totally blocked. Your boss and the HR director are best friends.
Yeah, what do you do then?
Exactly. What happens when you're completely stuck like that?
Well, that's what we're exploring in this deep dive. It comes from this single, really fascinating Reddit post. Someone facing exactly this impossible situation. And they stumbled into this, let's call it an unconventional solution, with some truly unexpected results.
Yeah, our mission here is to unpack this whole story. From the initial harassment, which is bad enough, through the accidental fix and what it tells us about perception, boundaries, and just, wow, weird office dynamics.
So the story comes from this anonymous guy. He's 34, works in marketing in Denver, been there 4 years.
Okay.
And his supervisor, Melissa, mid-40s, twice divorced, and apparently she had this very distinct smell.
Oh, yeah. The post mentioned grapefruit vodka and Bath and Body Works. You don't forget that detail.
Definitely not. And it started kind of small, casual touches, compliments that lingered too long, like, blue really brings out your eyes. Then the daily invites for drinks. But it got worse, like cornering him in the break room.
And complaining about finding a real man.
Exactly. And the holiday party, apparently she whispered she had mistletoe in her purse.
Oh, my God. That's... Wow. And HR was a no-go because she and the director did Wine Wednesdays together.
Yep. Completely off the table for him. He felt he had zero official options.
So, trapped.
Yeah.
Which leads to the solution. It wasn't exactly planned, was it?
Not at all. He said one Monday he was half asleep, totally fed up, and just blurted out he'd went on a date with this guy named Kevin.
Wow. Just like that, and her reaction?
Immediate. Eyes wide and froze, then this big boom, like everything clicked for her.
So we had to roll with it.
Yeah. Quickly made up details, met at a friend's barbecue, Kevin's into CrossFit, stereotypes.
And it worked. The harassment stopped.
Instantly. No more touching, no comments, no drink invites. She started calling him babe, but like in a totally platonic way. He became her fun gay work friend.
Huh. So problem solved. Or maybe not.
Well, that's the twist, right? This solution created a whole new set of problems. It was exhausting in a different way.
How so? What did being the fun gay work friend actually involve?
Oh, it was intense. Melissa started treating him like her personal confidant, showing him outfit pics for her dates, forwarding Tinder screenshots, asking him to decode messages, trying to set him up with her cousin's roommate's brother.
Oh, no. That sounds like a second job.
Totally. Every lunch break became about her drama. Invites to ABBA dance nights and The Office. They bought it too.
Wait, other people believed it?
Oh, yeah. Coworkers asking, how are you and Kevin? James in accounting invited you and Kevin to his Super Bowl party. He actually had to fake a breakup.
This is like a sitcom plot. What was the breaking point?
The final straw, he said, was when Melissa signed them both up for a charity drag bingo night. Bought the tickets and everything.
Oh, wow.
He's sitting there watching a 6-foot-tall Dolly Parton impersonator and just realizes, I've created a monster.
So what did he do? He couldn't keep that up forever.
He decided on let's call it a softer truth. He told Melissa that Kevin was just a friend and he wasn't actually dating anyone right now.
And how did she take that? Did the flirting start again?
Surprisingly, no. She was confused, he said, but she didn't revert. She just sort of shifted him mentally into the plain friend category.
So still friends, but without the romantic advice stuff.
Well, the dynamic is platonic now, yeah. No physical touch, no threats to his job, basically. But she still overshares. Now it's way too many TikToks of hot guys she thinks I'd appreciate.
Okay, so a different kind of oversharing.
Exactly. He feels a little bad about the lie, but said it was either that or quit, and quitting wasn't realistic with Denver rent prices.
Yeah, that makes sense. His takeaway was pretty great, though.
It really was. Sometimes office politics require unconventional solutions.
And crucially, never invent a fake boyfriend unless you're ready to maintain a telenovela-level plotline.
So true. It really shows the power of perception, doesn't it? And maybe how desperate people can get when they feel cornered.
Definitely. It leaves you wondering, what does this whole saga tell us about how we communicate or maybe fail to communicate at work?
Yeah.
About the assumptions we make, and what's the real cost of finding an easy way out of a complex situation? What really stands out to you?
My high school teacher harassed me. Years later, I ruined his life.
Okay, so we're doing a deep dive into just one really raw account from Reddit. It's this deeply personal story, something that simmered for almost 10 years before it just boiled over.
Exactly. And our goal here isn't just to retell it, but to really unpack the emotional weight behind it, and maybe even more importantly, the practical lessons. It's a powerful look at breaking silence, sure, but also the absolutely critical role of documentation.
Documentation, yeah.
That becomes key later.
It really does. This story highlights trusting your gut, definitely, but also persistence and just keeping those records.
Right. So let's set the scene. The original poster, she's 16 at the time, describes herself as quiet, straight-A student, lots of hoodies, focused on schoolwork. And then there's Mr. Carson, U.S. history teacher. Early 30s, kind of tailored but casual, wears a bit of cologne, known for sarcastic jokes. The, quote, cool teacher.
The cool teacher, true. We hear that a lot. We do.
Yeah.
And the harassment, it started really subtly. She even wondered if she was imagining it at first. Like, he'd stand too close behind her chair, his hand might brush her shoulder accidentally.
Plausible deniability built right in.
Exactly. Comments on her hair, her nice figure, his words, her maturity. But then came this one afternoon, October. Pep rally noise outside. She's got a migraine. She's in the library. It's half empty.
Okay.
Mr. Carson comes in, says he's just checking on her.
But that's not what happened, was it?
No. He starts talking about, well, girls like me, he says. His messy marriage. How his wife just didn't understand him. Standard Predator script, almost.
Ugh, textbook grooming behavior. It's chilling.
And then he asks for her Snapchat.
Wow. That's brazen. The school library.
Right. She just freezes up, lies, says she doesn't have it, and he just smirks, apparently, and says something like he'll find another way to keep in touch.
Creepy.
She described this physical reaction. Her stomach just knotted up, skin prickling, and she gripped her water bottle so tight it cracked.
That visceral reaction.
Yeah.
Your body knows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even when your mind is scrambling.
Totally. And what happened right after is also crucial. She went home, told her mom.
And her mom believed her.
Instantly. No questions asked, just immediate belief, which is huge.
That's incredibly important.
Yeah.
But often not the end of the story, unfortunately.
No. Because when her mom went to the principal, total dismissal. Mr. Carson, a respected teacher, they couldn't possibly ruin someone's reputation based on, what was the word? Perceptions.
Perceptions. That word does so much heavy lifting to invalidate victims. It's a classic institutional defense mechanism.
So what does that do to a student, hearing that?
Oh, it's devastating. It tells them their reality isn't real or doesn't matter. It leads to shame, self-doubt, helplessness. As she said later, it felt like her life was being ruined by the dismissal, not his reputation by the accusation. It forced her into silence.
Yeah, she just avoided him, counted down the days until summer, and then silence for years. Okay, fast forward 8 years. She's 24 now, working an admin job in Boston. Scrolling Facebook, sees a high school reunion photo. And there he is, Mr. Carson.
Still there?
Still there, same look. But then she sees a comment under the picture. Someone wrote, OMG, is he still teaching? My cousin said he's real friendly with the cheerleaders at Lincoln High.
And that was the spark.
That was it. She said that old kind of sour fear she'd lived with just turned into this cold, focused rage.
Right, and this is where strategy kicks in. She didn't just get angry, she got methodical.
Yeah, she started digging. Public records, teacher review, websites, rate my teachers, that kind of thing, LinkedIn profiles, local news archives.
Using the tools available.
Smart. And incredibly, within just 2 weeks, she found 3 other former students. Their stories, eerily similar to hers.
A pattern, not just isolated perceptions.
Exactly. And one of the other women, actually had screenshots. Disgusting text messages he'd sent her after she graduated.
Wow. Hard evidence. That changes the game. So how do they move from individual stories to collective action?
They got organized, built a timeline, gathered written statements from everyone. And here's the crucial move, the strategy part you mentioned. They didn't just go to the school board. They went to the school board and the local newspaper at the same time.
Simultaneous pressure. Very effective. Public exposure alongside the official complaint.
Totally. The paper ran it as a front page story. Headline was something like, multiple former students accuse local teacher of inappropriate conduct.
Boom. That's hard to ignore.
Impossible to ignore. The fallout for Carson was fast. Put on administrative leave almost immediately. Gone by the end of the semester.
Fired.
Effectively, yes. His DA's office even got involved. He lost his teaching license in that state. His wife divorced him.
Real consequences.
Yeah. Last the original poster heard, he was working at a car rental place in a different county.
It's a stark contrast to respected teacher. And what about the original poster? How did she feel afterwards? Any guilt, regret?
She wrote about that. Said she felt zero guilt about him. Her only guilt was, and I quote, not doing it sooner. She realized that while she worried speaking up would ruin her life, staying quiet almost ruined it more.
That's a powerful reflection. The long-term cost of silence.
So wrapping this up, what's the takeaway here for you listening? It's seeing how this quiet personal pain carried for years, when it finally connected with others and was backed by careful documentation, it turned into this unstoppable force, real action, real consequences, even after so much time.
And that quote she ended with is just so potent. If someone in power makes you feel small and cornered, write everything down. You never know when those notes might turn into the match that burns their whole house down.
It really hits home, doesn't it? It underscores why validating your own feelings, your gut instincts matters so much.
Absolutely. And the long shadow silence can cast versus the potential power eventually of documenting your truth, even when the system fails you at first.
That persistence is key. It's definitely something to think about, the slow burn of keeping records, waiting for the right moment, and finding strength in shared truth.
My boss forced me to do a detailed report, so I gave him a 300-page monster.
So, have you ever been asked for something detailed at work and just thought, okay, but how detailed are we actually talking here?
Oh, definitely. It's a super common workplace dilemma, isn't it? Vague instructions are kind of the worst.
Totally. We're diving into this amazing story from Reddit, from Our Pity Revenge, actually, that gives maybe the most epic answer ever to that question.
It's such a great example. Really gets into communication, interpretation, what thorough even means.
Yeah, and the slightly hilarious consequences when someone takes instructions very literally.
Exactly. We're going to break down this one person's pretty unforgettable response to their boss's vague demand.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's a marketing agency. You know the type.
Right. The original post mentioned stuff like corporate buzzwords, kombucha on tap.
And an open floor plan nobody likes. Classic. And the boss, this guy Brad.
Ah, yes, Brad. Sounds like a character. Uses circle back seriously.
Apparently. And thinks talking louder makes him right. You know the type.
So the team, they'd already put together this campaign report, right?
Yeah, a really slick 10-slide deck. Clean, easy for executives to get the picture quickly.
Makes sense. Keep it concise for the higher-ups. But Brad wasn't having it.
Nope. He wanted a full report, and he was pretty emphatic about it.
What were his exact words again? Something about every little thing.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know every number, every click, every metric, every little thing. Leave nothing out.
Wow.
And the kicker. I want it so detailed a stranger could run the campaign just by reading it.
Okay, so that's quite the ask. What was the reaction?
The post said the protagonist immediately thought, challenge accepted. This was going to be the pettiest week.
You can just picture it. Okay, so the overkill begins, as the post called it.
Mm-hmm.
What did that actually involve?
Well, it wasn't just pulling the usual numbers. It was everything.
Like beyond the standard metrics.
Way beyond. Every A/B test variation, engagement broken down by the hour, ZIP code, device type.
Okay, that's already pretty intense.
Oh, it gets better. Every rejected draft. Internal Slack messages about the campaign. Screenshots of Google Analytics dashboards.
Seriously? Slack messages?
Yep. Data so granular, the poster said it would make a data scientist cry.
I can believe it. But it wasn't just the data dump, right? It was how they put it all together.
Exactly. The organization was obsessive. Tables of content, subsections, cross-references.
Made it look official.
But then came the petty flourishes. This is where it gets truly brilliant.
Okay, hit me. What kind of flourishes?
Paragraph-long explanations for why they posted something at 2:13 p.m. instead of, say, 2:15 p.m.
No way.
They interviewed the graphic designer about the font choice, wrote a whole page on how Pantone 2925C evokes optimism.
A full page on a Pantone color. Okay, that's dedication to the bit.
By day 2, the document was already over 120 pages long.
120 pages in 2 days. And it didn't stop there, did it? What else got thrown in?
Oh, the truly absurd stuff. Full-size images of posts in both light and dark mode.
Just in case.
An appendix of unused hashtags. 3 pages analyzing the psychological effect of GIFs.
The psychology of GIFs. That's thorough.
NOAA weather charts. Apparently to cross-reference with click-through rates.
Okay, now they're just messing around. Weather charts.
Footnotes explaining inside jokes from Slack. And a Wikipedia citation on the history of Helvetica font.
They cited Wikipedia. Amazing. What was the final page count?
301 pages, including a glossary and an index.
301 wow. Just wow.
So the grand finale, they print this thing, bind it. It apparently weighed more than my cat.
Hefty document.
And then walks over to Brad's desk and drops it. That satisfying thud.
Oh, I bet. What was Brad's reaction?
Looked at it, quote, like I just handed him the Dead Sea Scrolls.
I can picture his face.
Yeah.
Utter confusion.
Flipped through maybe 5 pages, then muttered something about needing to condense it for the execs.
Condense the 300-page monster he specifically asked for. The irony.
And the absolute best part.
Let me guess. He never actually read it.
Never got past page 3. He ended up using the original 10-slide deck anyway.
Of course he did. All that work. Well, work for nothing from Brad's perspective.
But it wasn't totally for nothing, right? There were consequences.
Right. 2 key things happened. First, Brad completely stopped asking for full reports. Lesson learned, maybe?
Maybe. And second, other teams started joking about getting documents Brad had.
Huh. So it became office legend, and the report itself...
Still sitting on his desk, apparently. Untouched. A cursed artifact.
It's funny, but it really does make you think about workplace communication, doesn't it? How crucial clarity is.
Totally. What does thorough or detailed actually mean? We need to define that stuff up front.
Otherwise, you get,
you
get a 300-page report on Pantone colors and weather patterns. It highlights the need to explicitly define done.
So true. And in this age of just constant information, endless data, is there such a thing as too much detail?
That's the big question, isn't it? When does helpful detail just become noise?
Yeah. So something for you listening to think about. When you get that vague instruction, that request for everything, how far do you go? Where do you draw the line?
I accidentally found out my best friend is secretly dating my mom, and now I don't know how to function.
We take your sources, find the key takeaways, and really try to cut through the noise for you. We're diving into a situation, well, it's one that's definitely going to make you think about trust. And, you know, those unspoken family and friendship roles, it's maybe one of those scenarios that feels quite different when it's happening to someone else. Right. So our whole focus today is on just one source. It's an anonymous post from Reddit, specifically the True Off My Chest thread. The title is pretty direct. I accidentally found out my best friend is secretly dating my mom, and now I don't know how to function. Our goal here, to really unpack the raw emotion, the surprising twists in this personal story, and hopefully pull out some insights about boundaries, trust, and how fast life can get, as the poster puts it, Olympic-level weird. Okay, so let's get into it. The original poster, they're 27, living down in Austin, Texas. Their mom is 49, divorced about 7 years back, described as, one of those Pilates, green smoothies types, looks great for her age. And then there's Ryan, the best friend. He's 29. They've known each other since high school. It's like forever. He's apparently the type with a messy room, but has a weirdly well-organized Spotify playlist for every mood. They've been through thick and thin. Super stable friendship.
Yeah, and what's really striking is how fast the ordinary just shatters. So the poster walks into their mom's place, unannounced, which is like totally normal for them, a regular thing.
Right.
And it's that simple action that triggers everything. They hear, flirty, breathy laughter, followed by the best friend's voice saying, "You look so good tonight." Boom, the secret's out.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
And that's the moment, right? The poster describes it so vividly, their entire brain freezes, like Windows 98 when you open too many tabs.
Yeah.
Just gone. They turn the corner, and there's the mom. In a nice dress, hair done, lipstick, the works. Standing just 2 feet from Ryan, and Ryan's holding a glass of wine, smiling like an idiot. The first thought is just, what the actual F? Pure shock.
Yeah, and the mom just says quietly, "We were going to tell you."
Wow. That line, "we were going to tell you," it implies this has been going on for a bit. And it's not just surprise, is it? It's like deep cognitive dissonance. The brain trying to merge two things that just don't fit. Best friend, mom, romantically involved.
Exactly. And the post confirms it later. They've been seeing each other for a few months. So then, your mind instantly goes back. Suddenly, all those little things, they click into place.
Oh, yeah, like Ryan ditching poker night because he had to help someone with their Wi-Fi.
Right. Or the mom suddenly getting interested in craft beer, which was Ryan's thing.
Those innocent moments just transform. They get recontextualized instantly.
Totally. It turns the recent past into a kind of lie, or at least a hidden reality.
So, okay, thinking about our listener here, this poster is now in an incredibly tough spot. Torn.
Right? Completely torn.
I mean, on one side, you've got this deep loyalty. Ryan's the best friend, loyal, funny, good at his job, known for decades. But then there's this visceral reaction, the idea of him with their mom.
Yeah, the poster says it makes them want to bleach their brain.
That's not just like simple disgust. It's a fundamental violation of their internal world order, their comfort zone. It really hits those implicit relational contracts we all have. The unwritten rules about who's off limits in our close circles. And those rules just got shredded. It's interesting, too, how the family reacts differently. The sister, she's in Denver. Apparently her take is basically love is love. Just let them be happy.
A more detached view.
But that's so different from the poster's reaction, which is stuck on this mental image of her best friend making out with her mom over homemade lasagna.
It's a classic conflict, isn't it? Intellectually, the poster gets it. They're adults. The mom can date who she wants. But emotionally, it's a direct hit to these core relationships. Friend and parent.
So it really forces you to think about those invisible lines we draw around people we love.
Absolutely. And what happens when those lines get crossed so unexpectedly? This whole situation, it poses a big question for all of us, really. When something this disruptive happens in your closest circles, how do you even begin to process that shock? How do you reconcile this new reality?
Yeah. And how do you decide what actually matters most for your own sanity moving forward?
Exactly. What does this incredibly personal dilemma show us about that complex balance between, say, individual happiness and the web of relationships that shape who we are? It's a lot to think about.
How I sued a hotel for hidden cameras in my room and actually won.
Okay, so let's unpack this because it's quite a story. We're doing a deep dive into a listener's experience, actually from a Reddit post. It's pretty shocking finding hidden cameras in a hotel room.
Right. It's the kind of thing you hear about, but hope never happens to you.
Exactly. And this person, they specifically said they were not a lawsuit guy, hated confrontation, but they ended up suing the hotel and winning. So our mission really is to look at the chilling details, how this person went from avoiding conflict to, court, and what it means for, all of us when we travel.
And that initial hook is powerful, the reluctant fighter.
Totally. Okay, so it starts pretty normally. A work trip to Austin, 3-day training. The company booked them into this boutique hotel, you know the type. Yeah. Overpriced, exposed brick walls, Edison bulbs everywhere, as they put it.
Set in the scene. Yeah. Trying to be trendy.
Yeah. And the first, little weird thing, check in, no ID asked for, the desk guy just kind of shrugged.
A bit lax, maybe. Unusual.
Maybe. So fast forward to the second night. Our guy is just, plugging in his phone charger, looks behind the TV, and that's when he sees it. A little black dot on the power strip. Super small, smaller than a pencil eraser.
Oh, well, yeah. Just stumbled upon it.
Right. Gets this bad feeling. So he does what he called the world's least professional investigation. Lights off, phone flashlight out.
Okay.
And yep, more tiny pinhole cameras, one hidden up above the mirror, another one inside the smoke detector.
Inside the smoke detector, yeah. That's a known tactic, unfortunately. Yeah. But still, the audacity of it, the sheer violation.
Totally. And his reaction, pure panic, right? He just tears out of the room, goes straight to the front desk.
And what happens there?
The desk clerk gives him this totally bored look and mumbles something like, "Oh, those are just for maintenance."
Maintenance. Seriously. That response is almost as disturbing as finding the cameras, either clueless
or complicit. Right. So naturally, he calls the police. They come, they confiscate the devices. The hotel's official line, no idea how those got there. Complete denial.
Standard playbook. Deny, deny, deny. Especially for something this blatant.
And get this, connecting it to the bigger picture, his own company told him basically, don't make a big deal. Worried about bad press for their training event.
Wow. So even his employer wasn't fully supportive initially. That must have been infuriating.
Absolutely. He described feeling this justified fury, and that's what pushed him. He looked up lawyers on Google Reviews. The lawyer he found was confident, said, "Oh, you have a case, a good one."
Okay, so the legal gears start turning.
Yeah. And here's where it gets really interesting. In court, the hotel lawyers tried arguing the cameras were, inactive or maybe left by a prior guest, trying to deflect.
The usual defenses. Hard to prove otherwise, sometimes.
But the user's lawyer had the police evidence, and it showed the devices were live streaming.
Live streaming? Okay, that changes everything.
Uh-huh. And streaming to a remote IP address that traced back, get this, to the hotel's own internal network.
Oh, there it is. The smoking gun. That connects it directly to the hotel's operations, or at least their system.
Exactly. Suddenly, the prior guest theory looks pretty flimsy. The judge was apparently not amused.
I can imagine. So that internal network link, that was critical. It blew their defense out of the water.
Completely. So the outcome, a settlement. Confidential, of course, but he said it was enough for about a year's rent.
Decent compensation then. And the hotel.
They got slapped with some kind of privacy violation fine. And apparently, the police investigation is technically still investigating.
Which raises that chilling question, doesn't it? If he hadn't found them, how many other people were recorded? Weeks, months.
It's a horrible thought. So after all that, what does this mean for you, listening? What's the takeaway? Well, the user's own conclusion was stark vigilance. You just have to be aware.
Absolutely. It's a wake-up call. Always check your room.
Yeah.
Look at things that seem out of place. Power strips, clocks. And like the user said, maybe double-check every smoke detector in every Airbnb you ever book. It's not paranoid, it's just prudent now.
Yeah. And maybe the final thought here, something to really chew on, comes from the user himself, he wrote. Never underestimate the power of a pissed-off introvert with Google, a lawyer, and way too much caffeine. What does that say about, individual agency, standing up when something's fundamentally wrong, even when you're not the type?
It shows that one person can make a difference, even against a seemingly indifferent system. It's about finding those resources and having that determination.
A powerful thought, definitely something to keep in mind next time you check into a room.
Thanks for being with us.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.